Rule 23, trial by jury or to the court. A. 1. Every person accused of a felony has the right to be tried by a jury of 12. Before the jury is sworn, the defendant may, except in Class 1 felonies, elect a jury of less than 12 but no fewer than 6 with the consent of the court. 2. Every person accused of a misdemeanor has the right to be tried by a jury of 6. Before the jury is sworn, the defendant may elect a jury of less than 6 but no fewer than 3 with the consent of the court. Every person accused of a Class 1 or Class 2 petty offense has a right to be tried by a jury of 3 if he or she I. files a written jury demand within 21 days after entry of a plea. II. Tenders $25 to the court within 21 days after the entry of a plea, unless such fee is waived by the judge because of the indigence of the defendant if the charge is dismissed or the defendant is acquitted of the charge, or if the defendant, having paid the jury fee, files with the court at least 7 days before the scheduled trial a written waiver of jury trial, the jury fee shall be returned to the defendant. Number 4, this is all Colorado Rules of Criminal Procedure, CRCP. Where's that? Number 4, the jury in matters of Class 1 and Class 2 petty offenses shall consist of a greater number than 3, not to exceed 6 if requested by the defendant in the jury demand. Number 5, I. The person accused of a felony or misdemeanor may, with the consent of the prosecution, waive a trial by jury in writing or orally in court. Trial shall then be to the court. II. Roman numeral 2. The court shall not proceed with the trial to the court after waiver of jury trial without first determining A. that the defendant's waiver is voluntary, B. that the defendant understands that I. the waiver would apply to all issues that might otherwise need to be determined by a jury, including those issues requiring factual findings at sentencing. The jury would be composed of a certain number of people. That's II. A jury verdict must be unanimous. IV. In a trial to the court, the judge alone would decide the verdict. V. The choice to waive a jury trial is the defendant's alone and may be made contrary to counsel's advice. I. Roman numeral 3. In a proceeding where the waiver of a jury trial is part of a determination proceeding, the entry of a guilty or nolo contendere plea, the court need only make the determinations required by Rule 11b and not those required by this rule. 11b. What is 11b? So 11b is, are you ready? Pleas. Pleas what? Pleas of guilty and nolo contendere. The court shall not accept a plea of guilty or a plea of nolo contendere without first determining that the defendant has been advised of all the rights set forth in Rule 5A.2 and also determining a whole bunch of other things. A whole bunch of other things. Number 6. Okay, remember this is all rule. Number 23. Trial by jury or to the court. Rule 23. Rule 23.6. A defendant may not withdraw a voluntary and knowing waiver of trial by jury as a matter of right, but the court, with the consent of the prosecution, may permit withdrawal of the waiver prior to the commencement of the trial. Number 7. In any case in which a jury has been sworn to try a case and any juror by reason of illness or other cause becomes unable to continue until a verdict is reached, the court may excuse such juror. Except in Class 1 felonies, if no alternate juror is available to replace such juror, the defendant in the prosecution at any time before verdict may stipulate in writing or on the record in open court with approval of the court that the jury shall consist of less than 12 but no fewer than 6 in felony cases and less than 6 but no fewer than 3 in misdemeanor cases, and the jurors thus remaining shall proceed to try the case and determine the issues. Number 8, all jury verdicts must be unanimous. There's a committee comment. Amended Rule 23A5 reflects the legislature's 1989 decision to condition a defendant's waiver of a jury trial upon the consent of the prosecution. Also consistent with Colorado case law, the amended rule would permit the waiver of a jury trial even in a Class 1 felony case. See People v. Davis, 1990. So there you go. If anybody tried to tell you that Rule 23 of Colorado's criminal procedure is something different, then they're lying to you. They're lying. All jury verdicts must be unanimous. Don't let them lie. Fucking bastards. Goddamn rat bastards.